Where's he going? Maya, I haven't given you advice yet. Get back here.
He's running now.
We have just a couple little short minutes, just a minute or two, Jerry, okay? But thanks to Eileen, who is our official 131st photographer today. She's going to take photographs. She'll put them on the email, send them out so you'll all have the pictures available for us. We'd like to thank Julia and the PO staff. They've been very accommodating to us all years now. This is our 4th time we've done this, and they've been fantastic. They make it easy, and they're accommodating, and it's great. It makes it so easy. We'd like to thank Mary Barr from the Prologue Room at Boeing, where I work. She's given us, again, 2 of these really super neat books, and she's donated actually 4 of them. I think if anybody wants to buy one for $100, we'll sell it right now. Otherwise, we're going to donate it or have a drawing. So I was kidding on the first part. We're just going to draw names and give those out because I get them free and pass that along. Back in the back corner behind Lionel and Pat, we have our cake. Thanks to Midtown IGA. They give that to me at half price. It's only $23 for a full-size sheet cake. It's fantastic. Thanks again to them. And all of this couldn't be done without our Secretary Supreme. Even though he doesn't shave his legs yet, he's still the secretary in town.
But he said he would.
Oh, okay.
Ray, enough money, I'll do anything.
Ray has been great. He sends out the emails. He does everything I tell him.
He doesn't do a thing I ask him to do.
He was always pretty good at taking orders.
There you go. A couple little things of business. Cash bar, that's Julia. She's the one that sets it up for us every year. Remember her with the little tip jar. She's a fantastic lady helping us out. And she has a little baby girl on the way. If you order extra food or anything extra, just pay your waitress, Maddie, after that, because what's included is the buffet and coffee, tea, and water, and our entertainment. And that was a joke. Let's see. A lot of the retirees that sent us notes back to Ray and said, hey, we're out of town, we can't make it, we've got other commitments, but we really wanted to say hi to everybody. There's way too many of them. There's probably 15 to 20 that we got responses on.
Something like that, yeah.
That said they can't be here.
Dwayne Knott. I just talked to him the other day.
Dwayne Knott, yes.
Too many to mention, right?
He sent a nice note.
Okay.
And they would all like to be here, but they can't. And they said, but thank you, and they wished everybody the best wishes for what's going on. Next, remember our veterans that are currently serving overseas and in harsh conditions, and contribute to either the USO or Wounded Warriors Program, Vietnam Veterans Association, the VA. Give your time or volunteer, do something extra, and give back a little bit. We've got also some new people that just retired. Marty Weber and his wife Karen are our 2 retirees that are brand new. And also Don Jones, who was a nurse with us, he's not here. Christopher Rowe, he's another nurse and not with us. And Doug Picard, he was in our training readiness section at the 131st. So I think those are the 4 that retired in the last year that I'm aware of. And so welcome to our ranks. You get all the privileges of being a member.
How many years, Marty?
September 30th, 2010, I retired, and it was like 27 years, 11 months.
20 days, 15 hours, and 26 minutes.
We've also got some people that we're really glad that are here for their very first time ever. And if this is your first time for attending one of our reunions, please stand. Ed and Laura.
That's what you do in church. Anybody that's not a member, will you stand up?
Pass the plate over to them, right? I know that trick. They use it at synagogue.
Now, we have two more that didn't stand up, and they're back there trying to be quiet. But Chris Montoya and Tim Reynolds, they were both with the 131st Medical, and they deflected and jump ship. Tim went to security forces because he got a full-time job, and Sergeant Montoya is an active guard reserve, full-time AGR, who is soon to be a retiree in about 3 months or so. So he will attend every one of these in the near future. So welcome. If I forgot anybody, raise your hand, throw some food at me. Did I forget anything? Yes, sir.
Are we doing the next one in San Antonio?
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, we'll have tamales and tacos. How about that? Yeah. Good. For Ray and I, let me just say thank you everybody for being here, for supporting us and coming. And yes, sir, Ray, our Neal.
Oh, it's the very end. I would like to make an announcement or say something or whatever. So.
Okay. Just
go ahead. Thank
you very much for coming every year, supporting us. You guys make it easy when you send your check back into me early, and that really helps us to make our planning. I have to let POs know how many people, and they give, whether they show up or not, I pay for those meals. Saying it's worked great this year, no problems. Thank you very much. The one thing I'll ask, if you talk to any other retirees from our unit, let them know about this and encourage them to come next year. It's really neat to come and see folks that haven't seen each other for 25 years, to walk in. That's why Ray and I wanted to do this to start with. So let's keep it going. It's not hard to do. It just takes a little time, but we need your cooperation in addition to the little bit Ray and I do. So, Ray, any comments you got?
Just a couple of quick things. First of all, I don't send out every email that Steve asked me to. Because on Monday he asked me to send out an email that says, hey, everybody get your checks, and then on Wednesday he wants me to send out another one that says, where's the check? So, I'm anal, but I'm nothing compared to Steve. So, but the reason this thing works, pardon me, is not because of really anything that I do, but it's because of Steve. He's the pusher and mover of this whole thing. He's the one who, talks to the folks here at the restaurant. He's the one who prods all of you folks into sending in your money. He's the one who goes to Mac and gets the gifts and everything. And so, if any one person should be singled out for a job well done, I would say it would be Chief Swan. So a vote round. Marty has our list of MIAs. It's a listing of people that we know their names, but that's all that we know. We don't have any kind of contact information for them. No phone, no U.S. mail address, no email address. So
That is a weird looking.
we're going to pass that around, and if you know just one thing about them, a phone number or anything, you can put that in so we could include them into the group. I only have two more things, and then I promise to shut up. I forgot one.
Well, I guess now you only got one more thing.
If you all can think of some way that we can make this better, so we could attract more people, if you could just send or call either Steve or myself and let us know. And I've already talked about the strippers, and we said we can't have them, so the strippers aren't going to be here. But
Wet t-shirts?
wet t-shirts is now there. Okay.
I don't know who suggested that.
But anyhow, seriously, if you can come up with something, if you want to spend more money, you want to meet at a hotel, you want to go to San Antonio, I don't care. But, San Antonio is really neat. But, if you can come up with something, or just if we still meet here and you can think of a better way or a different way of doing something, please let us know, because neither of us are that smart. So, anyhow, would appreciate that. As Steve said, there's a lot of people who can't be here for a lot of reasons. A lot of them live pretty
We'll
far
do
out
it
of
later.
town.
I'm going to talk in a minute. I'll give it to you. Okay, scan it.
Am I interrupting you?
You're interrupting
It's a medical
Rodriguez.
issue.
It's So Eddie, after we stopped talking.
It's an officer issue.
Oh, yeah. Wait. One of the people who couldn't be here, who wanted to be here, is, I don't know if we, Edith Mitchell. I hate ranks anymore. He's Chi-Chi. You know, he's not a doctor. He's Chi-Chi. So, you know, okay, boom, boom. Can't be here. Anyhow, she asked if I would call her on my cell phone and let her talk to the people at the different tables. And so I'm just gonna do that. You know, try, you know, and do, you know, say whatever you want or shut up. I don't care. But just pass it around because she wanted.
Is this kind of like when you provided her personal toilet?
Oh, shut
Okay.
So anyhow, so I'm going to pass that around. Again, say something or not, doesn't matter. She's not going to know who's at the table. But she did, you know, she did want to convey her best wishes and everything.
Great. How is she doing?
As best I know, she's doing well. She's back to work. I don't know if she has full functionality of her left arm or not yet, but she is back working. I mean, I know I sent out a lot of different things.
What are we talking about?
Dr. Mitchell.
Dr. Mitchell.
I'm sorry. I apologize, sir. Do you remember?
He wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
So it's not, you shouldn't be apologizing.
He was probably talking to me.
Nobody pays attention at roll call. What are you talking about?
Did you know that she was hit by a drunk driver?
I did not. No.
Okay, real quick, like.
You sure he wasn't sober?
She was, yeah, he was drunk. She was in the left-hand lane waiting to turn, obviously waiting to turn left, and this guy came at her at a 90-degree angle, was on the shoulder of the road. He was drunk, he plowed into her. Forget how many ribs he cracked, her pelvis, crushed her arm, and at the time they thought that her arm would never be functional again. So she was pretty screwed up. I sent this out on email. I didn't send it out on postal, the U.S. mail, and I apologize for that. But anyhow, as far as I know, she's doing well. She's back to work.
When did that happen?
A year ago.
Just about a year, yeah, just about a year ago. Yeah. So anyhow, you know. So.
I spoke to her about a month ago, and she was doing really good.
That's great. That is great. So, okay. Steve,
Mary Henson Jankowski called me this morning. She had arranged to be here yesterday afternoon. A friend of hers passed away down in the Jeff City area, and she called and said that she wouldn't be able to be here, but wanted to say everybody hi and have a good time. Also, let's remember Dr. Madrid, who passed away about a year ago. And if I'm correct, it was shortly after our last reunion, thereby being another good reason that we do this kind of stuff, you know, so we can see our face. The food is ready, so...
Steve?
Yes, he wants to say something. So you went
Okay, here you go. Just keep your thumb out of the way, because my face is important. Everybody has a lot of crosses to bear, it sounds like. Well, I have one. It's amazing how certain things happen. I mean, you know, I was at this party 1 year ago, and I was sitting at that table there next to Mary Cooper, whatever her name is, Mary something like that. Okay. And, you know, she does trivia fundraisers, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to make a long story short. I had a cause that I was interested in, and one thing, you know, and I've been to trivia, you know, so I thought, well, you know, I might try a golf tournament, you know, see what happens. And I, you know, asked a few people, and they said, well, yeah, I'll help. Some of them actually did. Most of them didn't. But anyway, so as a result of this event a year ago, I decided to do a golf tournament, and it was May 13th last year. Friday the 13th is what we advertised. And it was actually to benefit the grandson of a very dear friend of mine, who happens to be Chief Wakefield. And changed my life, because it gave me the opportunity to spearhead something for somebody else, which I've always been good at taking care of myself, but I've been a little weak on the other side, you know? Well, I'm not anymore. And it was the warmest, best thing that I've ever participated in my whole life. It was terribly successful. And we raised $7 grand. Anyway, and it was valuable to Caleb Wakefield because he was able to do a 5-week rehab in Canada for a lot of money, of which we provided most of it. And he's better. And he needs to get better, so I agreed to do KFK, because we called it Kisses for Caleb, 2012, and it's May 11th, and I brought a couple flyers that, they're not done, but it's the best I had this morning. And, you know, if you're interested, you know, just leave your email address, because, you know, we communicate basically electronically. Whether you play golf, know somebody that plays golf, want to volunteer, and Steve Winheim will tell you, Mary, I don't see her. I don't know if she's not coming.
She has a hip replacement.
Okay. Well, I'm sure she'll be there this year, because I know how she is. It'll be like one of the greatest days of your life. I mean, it really is, not that this isn't a great thing, this is good. But, you know, I mean, I came here basically for these two guys. I mean, I like everybody. I don't normally come to these things. But look what it did last year. So, some people might say, God works his things in mysterious ways, you know. I say, whatever. It worked. I don't have anything else. Thank you very much.
Neal, thanks for doing that, and it's definitely a very worthy cause. I wasn't able to go last year. I sent in my money. If you can't go, if you get the email, go on and make a contribution if you don't play golf or you can't be there, if you're inclined. And it's a very worthy cause. Also, I forgot Teresa Vatinelli, who was our commander in the past years. She was an enlisted. She went and got her nursing degree, and then she went on and eventually became our commander, and then moved on to like an IMA or out of Colorado. She moved out there. I understand she's recently retired, so congratulations to her too. If I forgot anybody, I'm sorry, but Ed Stanley, the food is ready, and so graciously, if you would offer grace for us, please.
Father in heaven, first of all, we thank you that we have the privilege of prayer. Just want to thank you that we're allowed to gather here today with our friends, with people that we've worked with before. Such a privilege to be here today. Just ask you now that you bless the food, bless our time together, give us all safe journeys home. Just continue to be with each one of us, and let us know that you are God above all else. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, we'll start with this table because that's where I'm sitting for the food. No, over here. We'll start here, and it's not like there's a whole crowd, so dig in and enjoy.
Good job, man.
Thanks.
Anything to say privately? Anything to say to your YouTube fans?
Fantastic speech, Neal.
Okay, thank you.
Kisses for Caleb was fantastic.
Okay, bye. I just came by to see what the flavor was of the conversation at this table. Now, at my table, guess what it was? Ray got it on the first guess. Okay, but a body piercing, I love. Really? Now, I am interested in piercings, but locksmith? What are you talking about piercings?
I wasn't.
Why are you smiling?
I wasn't talking about piercing.
When I think of piercings, it makes me smile too. This guy's smiling over here, so he must have a story. What's your story about piercings?
It's all on Jerry.
You got one?
Jerry has pictures on his phone.
He doesn't know how to take a picture on his phone. Actually, you need to tell him.
carry a phone anymore.
I don't have any. Yeah.
He would just talk me.
Swanee, you got any piercings that we can't see?
No piercings.
How about tattoos?
No tattoos. No tattoos. No Mickey Mouse pushing a lawnmower or anything.
Ray told me you were thinking about a tattoo. And I said, where?
Mickey Mouse.
And Ray said, well, I really can't mention it to you, you know, because...
Pushing a lawnmower.
No tattoo.
I said, what kind of message was he going to deliver with his tattoo? You know, I mean, who like reads that part of somebody's body? Now, Linda is interested. She's interested in it. She'd like to do some reading someday. What'd he say? You can click on the hyperlink when you get this video, and you'll be able to hear it over and over again.
That's what happened, and the reason why he got hurt so bad, because when the nose gear collapsed, when he got ejected, he did not get ejected this way, he got ejected this way.
Shooting him open.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about?
That time that we had the accident right there in front of the base.
Oh, yeah. That was on the ground, wasn't it? And then he ejected up.
Yeah.
It was Carl Rispy and
Rispy, and I can't. He was a short guy. He had glasses, wore glasses. He was a wizzo.
I just know he went up to Chicago and ended up flying on the KC-135s.
Oh, he switched to a KC-135 after that?
Yep. I remember.
Well, he was not going to fly in a fighter with the injuries he sustained.
Remember Big Bird? I think his name was Siegfried. What was his first name? Ron?
Right.
He ejected.
I flew with Big Bird from Lambert to Eskişehir, Turkey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When we were your P-packs.
When we were ferrying the F-4s, because Turkey had bought our F-4Es, and that was right after Desert Storm. And security was very tight, especially in Germany. When we landed in Spangdahl, they were not messing around. Everything was really tight. Then we had to land in Sigonella. It was the same thing. It was just about a month after Desert Storm was over. So I flew with
Desert Shield.
Desert Storm. It was Desert Shield when they were building.
Okay.
Desert Storm when it started.
Right. Okay.
So we went in early May, and Desert Storm was over in April.
Right.
So security was super tight, and in Istanbul was even worse.
Well, Big Bird became a dental patient of mine. Okay, and he didn't have really good teeth, so I saw him frequently. And he had an appointment in my office, and we kind of became friends. I socialized with him and his wife a little bit. And one afternoon, I saw he was coming in, and about an hour before he was supposed to show, his wife calls. And I forget her first name. But she tells my office manager, you know, my husband's not going to have to miss his appointment today. And she says, oh, really? Is he okay? I mean, does he want to reschedule? She said, well, he's going to have to call you, and I think he's okay, because I just got off the phone with him, because he just ejected out of his airplane. So I see he's got a line through his name, right, on the book. So I said, Debbie, you know, what's the deal? Where's why isn't Siegfried coming? She said, well, his wife just called, said he ejected out of an airplane. I go, what? I said, you couldn't have that right. She says, well, you know.
Sure enough.
She said, don't worry, I filled the opening for you. She thought I was going to go, well, you know, now we got an opening, you better fill it. So he calls me the next day. He goes, man, did I have a day yesterday? I go, you got to be kidding me. But it wasn't. It was like in Indiana or something like that.
Channel 4, Channel 5 had it on the news. And
but it wasn't in St. Louis. It was
right out in the Fort Leonard with the MOA area.
I thought he was out of state somewhere. Okay.
He was down at Cannon Range.
Okay.
Cannon Range.
Yeah. So it's
down by Fort Leonard Wood area.
So somebody gave him a ride home, you know, later that night. But I mean, they wanted to debrief him. And where did the plane end up? I'm trying to remember.
In the mountains.
I mean, the plane ended up in the ground, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
Where was it though? Did he like point it in a safe area?
There's a huge Cannon Range. You know,
yeah. Oh yeah. I was there. Okay. I couldn't remember that, but that was.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
So I go this pocket. I go through security. These are all these Asians found this pocket. This is a $65 pocket. I like good stuff. I love it. It's $65. And we all started to understand what we're just saying. This is the airport terminal. that's where all the major airlines pick up their stuff and take it. So just don't worry about where the product coming in.
Well, obviously the cake was a huge success, and I didn't eat any, but I could smell it from where I'm standing, and it smells outstanding. Half chocolate, half white. It says, here you go. Hank you. You're served. Just ask Swan what he meant by that. Hank you, you're served. Mm-hmm.